Hi, I'm David Litchfield and I've been fixing roofs for over 30 years. Our company roofs several venues for the Sydney Olympics and we've roofed everything from a cottage to a 7-acre roof at Mount Waverley Reservoir. I have a simple working philosophy. Do it right the first time and keep your customers happy. It's cheaper in the long run and my customers advertise for me by word of mouth. I get very few callbacks because I do the job right the first time, which results in better profits. Here's the best way to get excellent results. This video presentation is about delighting the customer by fixing premium roofing products like Zinc-Alume and Colorbond steel, the way it should be done. These trade tips are practical suggestions for tradesmen who pride themselves in their job skills. We will show you basic steps of how to fix a roof from start to finish. This will include tips that are essential to deliver a visually stunning roof. Here is an old tile roof, sadly in need of replacement. We start by thinking safety and having the right equipment, as this will always save you time and help you do a better job. Remember to put safety first. Tie off your ladder with at least 1 metre above the gutter line. Fit your safety harness and pole to prevent accidental falls from the roof. Always wear non-slip footwear. Always walk over the battens whenever possible. Remember, use plenty of sunscreen and wear sunglasses when working on a roof. Wear eye and ear protection when cutting or drilling steel. Wear flexible gloves when handling sheets. And remember, lift, don't drag roofing sheets. Now let's look at the toolkit. You'll need a tack gun, a drill, a nail bag, the Excalibur shear, a tape, 10 sticks, chalk line, multi-grips, a straight edge, the blower, and sunscreen, a hat to shade yourself, sunglasses, and of course the ladder. Okay, now you're ready to get started. It's important to store the roofing sheets properly. If possible, store indoors out of the weather. If storing outdoors, make sure the sheets are off the ground. Just a bit of timber will do, and that there is about a 3-degree slope to allow proper drainage. If possible, cover with a tarp. Failure to store correctly can result in early corrosion. Good storage prevents this. Identify the product is genuine. Check that you have the right steel. Look for the brand marks, Zinc-Alume or Colorbond. If there is no brand mark, it's not the genuine article. Just reject it. Remember never to mix genuine Colorbond steel with imitation product. Their colours will fade at a different rate and leave the roof looking patchy. Here we go. It is a good idea to stack drill the sheets while they are on the ground. Just one hole to fix to the bottom batten. This will give a good straight screw line. Place the first sheet adjacent to the junction of the hip and ridge. Make sure that it is square, either to the ridge or fascia board, and tack into position. Then continue to tack more sheets into position halfway down the hip. Mark the cut with a chalk line. Cut the sheets with an Excalibur shear. You can use tin snips if you prefer. Never use a metal grinding wheel to cut. It leaves burrs and damages the sheets and the hot swarf will burn into the coating. Pre-cut the insulation blanket on the ground and pass it up to the mount of the roof. Position the blanket where it is to fit and secure it with spot fixed fasteners. Determine the centre of the roof battens on each end of the run and use a chalk line to mark the screw line. This will give a neat row of screws. Remember not to overdrive or underdrive the screws. We advise crest fixing instead of valley fixing in most applications. Depending on the local environment, Bluescape Steel recommends use of Class 3 or Class 4 fasteners to prevent unsightly rusting later on. I personally recommend Class 4 fasteners to get the best result. Turn up the ends of the sheets with multi-grips. You can do this on the ground or on the roof. For hip cappings, cut the bottom and fold the edges down and then put into position and make a cut at the top. For ridge cappings, position and mark the joint to the hip capping and cut. In cyclonic areas, it is recommended to scallop cut the edges of the hip and ridge capping. There are many kinds of roof penetrations. For vent pipes, use Deck-Tite flashings, well sealed with roofing grade silicone and fastened at 50mm centres. At roof penetrations, take a back flashing right up to the ridge line. Correct clean-up is the essential part of roofing in steel. At the close of each day's work, the whole roof must be cleaned down to remove all swarf. This can be done with a small petrol-powered blower or a soft bristle broom. Be thorough. Now I'd like to talk about some of the traps to avoid. Don't use touch-up paint. It weathers differently and becomes unsightly. Care is better than cure. Remember, lift sheets, don't drag them. Before installing the roof, make sure that the frame is the correct pitch. This prevents ponding and ensures water runoff. As I mentioned before, use quality fasteners to prevent unsightly rusting later on. We use Class 4 fasteners on all our work. A little extra money buys a lot better screw. Colorbond steel and Zicaloom steel should not be used with lead, copper or stainless steel, or corrosion will eventually result. Okay, let's review the main points. It doesn't cost any more to do the job right the first time. Trust me, you'll make money if you do. Put safety first by wearing the correct protective equipment for every job you do. Use the right tools to get the best results. Store your roofing sheets correctly. Choose the right steel. Look for the Colorbond or Zicaloom brand and insist on it. Stack your sheets and drill one hole at the bottom batten. Use multi-grips to turn up the end of the sheets. Cut your insulation on the ground and hand them up to fix in place. Make sure your first sheet is aligned properly, either to the ridge line or the gutter. Get that right and the rest will align correctly. Use a chalk line to set out faster lines to ensure visual appeal. Depending on the local environment, Bluescape Steel recommends use of Class 3 or Class 4 fasteners. Refer to the literature for more information. Cappings and flashings are all about measuring and cutting correctly. Roof penetrations need special attention. We use Deck-Tite flashings and roofing grade sealant. Ensure your clean-up leaves no swarf on the roof because it results in problems later on. Remember, lift sheets, don't drag them, and be careful not to scratch the sheets already laid. And for heaven's sake, don't use touch-up paint. Don't use imitation sheets with genuine Colorbond steel. If you do, the result will look patchy. And the results speak for themselves. A Bluescape steel roof that looks excellent because the job was done correctly. It looks great and so do you. Your customers will be delighted and proud of their new roof. They'll tell their friends about you and the professional way you work.
Thank you, David. Fantastic job. Really happy.
It's my pleasure. If you want to get this kind of result, simply follow these helpful hints. The way it should be done. The Bluescape Steel way.